The war in Ukraine continues with full intensity. August 25th, 2026. A Russian soldier spotted in open ground, moves under trees, then strips off his camouflage and starts moving again without it. Running, walking, no clear direction. Reconnaissance tracks every step, while an FPV is already inbound. He ends up on his knees in another tree line, waiting. The drone closes in. No reaction, no attempt to move. Whatever state he's in, it doesn't produce a response. The drone reaches him where he knelt, a soldier lying flat, hoping not to be seen. A munition drops directly onto him and doesn't detonate. A second chance handed to him. He doesn't move, doesn't run, stays exactly where he is. The second munition detonates. Two soldiers encounter an ambushed drone sitting on the ground and spend valuable seconds trying to figure out what they're looking at instead of shooting it. The window closes. The operator activates. They scatter in opposite directions. One gets clear. The other doesn't create enough distance in time. Darkness doesn't offer protection on this front. Thermal cameras read body heat regardless of what the eye can see. Russian soldiers asleep, resting, moving at night, all visible from above. What makes nighttime strikes particularly decisive? The soldiers can't see the drone coming. No sound cue is processed in time, no reflex activates. The darkness that was supposed to be an advantage eliminates their only warning system. One soldier, one drone. Pure panic from the first second. A few maneuvers pass. He survives them, weapon in hand, but the drone moves faster than any aim can settle. Every time he almost has an angle, it's already adjusted. Seconds, then it's over. He sees the drone and makes a decision. Stay calm, don't run, slip into the bushes nearby. The most composed response in this footage. It doesn't help. A heavy payload drone was already closing in before he moved. The explosion answers every question about what it was carrying. A soldier barely walking, using a stick to stay upright. Spotted, and a drone sent in. First munition drops. He survives it, minor injuries, still on his feet. Still being watched, and he knows it. He turns toward the drone and makes some kind of gesture, difficult to read from the footage. Then, despite everything, he keeps walking. Same direction, same pace, as if the first strike didn't settle anything for him. The first FPV closes in, and he survives that too. A second FPV dispatched immediately. This one closes faster. It doesn't miss. A Russian soldier wedged into a tree, apparently convinced this counts as cover. The drone operator disagrees. The tree doesn't protect anything it's supposed to. A Russian military vehicle attempting to push through Ukrainian defensive positions hits a mine. The vehicle stops, chaos on the ground. A second vehicle arrives to extract them. The assault attempt that was supposed to break through the line ends with a recovery run back to where it started. Fiber-optic ambush drones positioned along routes near Kostiantynivka and Druzhkivka, already on the ground before anyone starts moving. The moment a vehicle or soldier enters the area, the drone lifts off. Cable-guided, unjammable, already committed before the target knows it's there. Ground-level ambush drones give less reaction time than anything coming from above. The routes that were supposed to connect positions in this sector keep producing the same result for everything that tries to use them. 10 different soldiers, 10 different positions. Trees, bushes, darkness, open ground, walking in the open. None of them with a reliable counter to what's tracking them from above. Sent forward without meaningful drone training, without effective counter-drone equipment, without tactics that account for constant aerial surveillance. Each one exposed the moment they enter the area. Ukraine's 63rd Mechanized Brigade FPV operators find every single one and reach every single one. 10 soldiers, 10 different attempts, same result every time. Russia keeps sending them forward this way. Why? Operators out looking for Russian artillery when a T-72 tank comes into view in the forest. An increasingly rare sight on this front. Russia has been keeping armor away from the contact line precisely because of what happens when it gets found. What happens is this: the tank that was hidden in the tree line, taken out before it moves anywhere useful. 3 Russian soldiers sheltering in an abandoned building, FPV drones carrying explosive payloads dive directly inside. The building they chose for cover becomes the place they can't get out of. Vovchansk direction, Belgorod Oblast. An ATV with a trailer moving supplies toward Russian positions. Food, ammunition, intercepted before it arrives. The resupply run that was supposed to reach the front line stops there. A Russian mobile air defense truck fitted with 7 heavy machine guns mounted together, spotted on a road in the Donetsk region. An improvised solution to the drone problem. 7 barrels aimed upward. Whether it works is a separate question from whether it looks like it should. A soldier resting under a tree in a Kharkiv forest spots the drone too late, realizes there's no time to run away from it, turns and charges straight toward it instead. The explosion happens anyway. Achilles Brigade, long-range strike company operating between 50 and 150 kilometers from the contact line. The areas Russia considered safe enough to move through without concern. A mobile fire group taken out, Kamaz and Ural military trucks intercepted on supply routes. Positions Russia has been using comfortably for months, now under fire 80 kilometers back. The depth Ukraine reaches keeps expanding. A Russian assault shed hidden inside a building in Velika Novosilka. An improvised armored vehicle built to push infantry through drone-heavy terrain. Ukraine's 421st UAS Battalion Sapsan finds it anyway. The building wasn't enough cover. The shed never moves. Ukrainian MiG-29 Mu-1 pilots delivering GBU-39 guided bomb strikes on Russian drone operator positions. Crews that had been operating openly, moving through villages, launching drones toward Sumy and surrounding areas. Electronic warfare systems on the position didn't stop the bombs from finding it. Signum Battalion working Russian logistics in the south, trucks intercepted on supply routes in occupied territory. What this footage also highlights, Signum operators distinguish between military cargo and grain transport. Ukrainian operators don't hit grain trucks. Russian forces, however, have started disguising military cargo inside civilian transport. Signum watches for exactly that. Anyone knowingly running military supplies under civilian cover becomes a legitimate target. The distinction matters, the operators make it. Magyar's Birds operator scanning western Donetsk, not randomly, but methodically. Years of experience translate into knowing exactly where to look. Not every patch of terrain, just the specific spots a Russian soldier would choose when they need to hide. The grass, the bushes, the low corners under trees. Hours of searching. Then something in the undergrowth that doesn't belong. A soldier pressed flat, camouflaged, waiting. He sees the drone coming and tries to run. By the time he moves, the distance is already closed. 80,000 square meters of logistics space in Kolpino near St. Petersburg, reduced to rubble after an explosion. Another link in Russia's supply chain gone. The Amur Gas Chemical Complex, a $10 billion Russia-China joint venture, one of the world's largest polymer facilities. Today, an explosion at the pyrolysis unit, over 130 workers injured. Refineries burning from Ukrainian drone strikes, ozone warehouses hit across southern Russia, and now this. The industrial base Russia was building to fund and sustain this war keeps running into problems from multiple directions at once. Russian soldiers using dense vegetation as cover, digging in deep, hiding in shelters inside the tree lines. 66th Mechanized Brigade Thermal Reconnaissance, locating each position regardless. The tree cover that was supposed to mask them from above, visible to thermal imaging regardless of how thick the canopy is. One position stood out. Fuel left, carelessly near the entrance to a shelter. The strike reaches it. The shelter becomes the problem. Donetsk direction. Vartovy Battalion, intercepting Russian transport on approach routes. Supplies stopped before they arrive, reinforcements cut off before they reach the line. Every vehicle taken out here is ammunition that doesn't reach a Russian gun, an assault that loses what it needed to launch. the pressure compounds every day. Ivan Franko Group operators reaching Russian positions 50 kilometers away. Vehicles and equipment targeted at a distance that was supposed to be safe. The rear that Russian forces were using without concern, now within reach. The strike arrives before anyone there adjusts their assumptions about how far back is far enough. Russian soldiers sheltering inside buildings, defending against FPV drones at ground level. The attack comes from above instead. Ukraine's 2nd Omega SOF detachment deploying drones to drop IEDs and bombs directly onto occupied positions. The soldiers inside were watching the wrong direction. A bomb through the roof reaches what a drone through the door couldn't. The shelter becomes the trap. 181 combat engagements yesterday. Pokrovsk absorbing 22 Russian attacks, all repelled. Russia has suffered a net loss of 233 square kilometers this year. Russia keeps pushing. Ukraine keeps holding. Who's actually winning?